There's a new Dimensional Trials season, and you guys know your runes have been leveled up to 90, so you have to actually grind these Dimensional Trials again, and they give insane amount of Chaos runes on the last rewards, but you actually have to defeat all the dungeons in T10, at least. They have added a new dungeon called Crypt of Augmentation, and I'm going to be giving you guys a guide on how to do it in T5 and plus, so let's just jump into the video. 3, 2, 1. The gear score requirement for this dungeon is a bit higher than the other Dimensional Trial dungeons because it's a 4-star dungeon. I think you need about 6.2k to do T5. As a tank, when the boss does a Q-block mechanic, 2 hits after, he will spawn a purple circle beneath you. You want to make sure you're pre-moving away because it's very hard to dodge if you move too late, and this will knock you down and deal damage to you. Right after, it's going to follow up with the dodge roll mechanic. Now, this is a slow dodge roll mechanic, so you have to kind of get used to it. This is the same thing every time. She does the block, and then the purple circle, and then the dodge roll mechanic. She'll get a message above her head, and then she'll get these purple balls. Make sure you guys are moving during this, because if you get hit by it, you will get caged in, and somebody will have to help you out. On the split mechanic, you want to make sure you're assigning 3 players to one side and 3 players to the other side for the yellow and purple, so they get either the purple debuff circle around them or the yellow debuff circle. Now, this is where the Dimensional Trial mechanic comes in. It's going to increase the number of the balls that she throws. However, even in T5, you can still do it with only 2 players as long as you're efficient in doing so. Now, how the mechanic works is you basically have to stand inside the circle, but you want to face your partner on the other side. If your character is facing a different way, that's where the ball is going to go. So you want to make sure that the ball goes across to the other side and to your coordinated teammate, because you're going to get linked to them. Now, the T5 mechanic is going to also spawn ads. You want to make sure that you're using the laser to defeat these ads. All you have to do is make sure that the ads are between the lines and they will take damage and die. And then you want to make sure that you're quick on getting to the boss after so you can remove his stacks. Now, how the mechanic works is the laser, just like it did damage to the ads, is also doing damage to the boss. However, the damage is removing the stacks of the boss, and the stacks have to hit 0. This is perfectly doable with only 2 players on each side doing the mechanic, making sure that the laser is continuously hitting the boss. And that way, the stacks will turn to 0. So you have to be kind of fast and efficient with this. Now, after the mechanic, you want to make sure that everybody positions themselves on top of the markers. The markers are put in a square. Just make sure that people know which marker they're supposed to stand on. And the tank wants to stay in front of the healer here. And when you're moving around as a healer or a tank, make sure you don't get in between the lasers because you do take a lot of damage. Now, when the healer is furthest away and gets this purple circle around them, make sure the tank goes to the healer. Because here you're going to get petrified, and all the other DPSs that are linked needs to slowly start moving upwards away from the boss. Now, the second you can start moving, you want to make sure that each of them goes to left or right side. Now, you can do this as a solo player too, but it's more efficient as 2. Now, you want to make sure that you grab them because they're slowly moving towards the boss. If they reach the boss, they die. So you want to make sure you grab them and they will basically follow you in like a fear stance. Now, if you look above my head, I have this star shape, which is red and blue. Now, when the red is about to take over, you want to make sure that you charge to the boss, but at the same time, you want to make sure the players that are chasing you don't get hit by the purple ball. So you want to keep moving. So once you charge the boss right before it ends, if you're close to the boss and the red completely takes over, it stuns the boss. Now, if your boss is below 70% at this point, he will do the pizza mechanic. This is very important that everybody is spread so you don't get caught two players in one of these. So everybody's spread and they're standing inside their own cone. Now you see the blue light. This blue light will go in a circle. And you want to make sure that you're jumping when the blue light is about to hit. If you get hit by the blue light, you basically die. At the end, when the mechanic happens again, it actually goes through one side of the pizza and then it will rotate the other side. So this jump is a little bit hard and tricky. I did fail it a couple of times because you have to get used to the timing, but once you have it down, it should be a piece of cake. That's it for the mechanics. The rest is just a rinse and repeat. You just gotta make sure that you're doing the ball mechanic correctly, the laser mechanic correctly, and the pizza mechanic correctly. Aside from that, it just follows a pattern, so it should be easy. Good luck, guys. Should be fine. I had to make it exciting, you know? GG's.